मेरा ऐसा मानना है, and this is what I feel personally because I go to Kashmir so often.
Right.
And
You have served in Kashmir.
yes, J&K, I've served in J&K.
Right.
So, you see, what happens is that मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं without ignoring the past of Kashmir, जो भी violence हुआ है, और वो मुसलमानों के साथ हुआ है, हिंदुओं के साथ, खासतौर से कश्मीरी पंडितों के साथ, none of that can be. You see, do you think there is scope of a truth and reconciliation commission in Kashmir? एक बैठ के आवाम के साथ, उसमें कश्मीरी पंडित भी बैठेंगे, उसमें जिनके घर में जो लॉस हुआ है, and it may be lakhs of people, it does not matter. The volume does not matter. But एक बार आपको ना आवाम के साथ, irrespective of religion, आपको आवाम के साथ बात तो करनी पड़ेगी कि नहीं करनी पड़ेगी? Don't you think we should at least talk to people?
I'm not sure whether we are there yet or not, because it has just been like the last 3-4 years of, peace that has been restored. And the Kashmiri Pandits, they are still not sure they want to come back because they are leading good lives outside. They have done good for themselves. अब वो सब कुछ छोड़ के to expect them to come back to a mess, where there is there is very little economic potential. I think that's also not fair. However, just as Sanjay Kishan called, when he was deciding on the Article 370 constitutional challenge, तो उसमें उन्होंने अपने जजमेंट में, अपनी ऑब्जर्वेशंस में उन्होंने मेंशन किया था कि एक ट्रूथ एंड रिकन्सिलिएशन कमीशन सेटअप होना चाहिए जिसका यही हीलिंग प्रोसेस जो है जिसका आउटकम हो. बट एट द सेम टाइम वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट दिस TRC process, it needs to be it shouldn't be a penal, it shouldn't result in penal consequences. A TRC can only succeed when it doesn't result in penal consequences.
So it's more like a conversation and a process of healing.
Yeah. So because I'm really not sure whether as a society we are there yet or not. I think a lot more work.
In terms of accepting a peace and reconciliation?
In terms of confronting what happened there, at that time. So I'm not sure how much of readiness there is in the society. I'm just being honest and blunt with you. I'm not sure how much of an acceptance there is of, because Kashmiri people also consider themselves victims at that point, that did they really have the power to stop anything? So I'm not sure we are there yet.
आप उसकी बात करें जब पंडितों को वहां से निकालेंगे, उस दौरान की बात.
हाँ जी. तो उस टाइम मान लीजिए खुदा ना करे आज वो सिचुएशन होगी. So one question that the people ask is will they have the power to stop? Is Kashmiri civil society that strong? Has the civil society been allowed to be that strong that they can stop it, that they can intervene? Did the ordinary Kashmiri have a role in that, or did they have the power to stop that? I don't think that there is a readiness to confront that yet. But yes, if it happens, it would be a welcome step. I just don't think we are there yet.
Okay. जैसे आपने बोला ना, Kashmiri society not strong enough to confront. But since 1947, there was always a Kashmiri Muslim ruler there, mostly in Jammu and Kashmir.
Right.
जब से भारत को आज़ादी मिली है,
I think the chief minister has always been Muslim, barring R.C. Kak, who was the first prime minister of Kashmir.
Yeah.
It's always been a Muslim chief minister.
Yeah, Muslim chief minister, and mostly from the valley.
Yeah, Kashmir is Kashmir. Yeah, even R.C. Kak was a Kashmiri Pandit. Yeah.
So ऐसा क्यों हुआ कि इतने साल के बाद 88 लगा लीजिए, मैं 88 को कट ऑफ मान रहा हूँ, 89 को भी नहीं, 88 तक ऐसा क्यों नहीं हुआ कि सिविल सोसाइटी इतनी दिहाइयों में इतना डेवलप कर पाई इन सो मेनी डेकेड्स दैट दे कुड एटलीस्ट इन अ लिमिटेड वे. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट कि कॉमन कश्मीरी मुस्लिम शुड हैव टेकन अप वेपन्स अगेंस्ट द टेररिस्ट एंड सेड दैट ये पंडित है, मैं इसके लिए अपनी जान, नॉट दैट वे, बट एटलीस्ट रेज देयर वॉइस व्हेन दे वर आउट ऑफ कश्मीर वैली. कश्मीर वैली के अंदर तो जान खतरे में थी. जो लोग बाहर गए उनको आपको लगता है कि वॉइस रेज करना चाहिए था?
I think you would have to interview someone very senior for that because I was born in 88 itself. However, someone like Wajahat Habibullah Saab, for example, he would be a good person, to interview about this. But I asked myself this
question.
question.
Wajahat Saab, cabinet secretary the?
He was the divisional commissioner of Kashmir when, that thing happened.
I think later on he was, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he became cabinet secretary or not. So the IAS person. So what I'm trying to say is I did ask myself this question. कुछ साल पहले, अभी मैं बात कर रही हूँ 2021 के अराउंड या 22 के अराउंड, minority killings had started in Kashmir again. So there was a jeweler who was killed in in the city in Sarebal or something. So there was a Pandit jeweler over there. He was killed. Then there is a very famous Vaishno Dhaba, Krishna Dhaba. उनके owner को जो है, he was killed. And while we were like condemning on Twitter and whatever, I just found myself asking this question, how do we actually stop this? And I don't know how to stop this. As a very empowered, outspoken Kashmiri, the best I can do is I can give statements, I can write a tweet, I can do something. What can I do?
Physically.
To actually stop it. While there were people who came out, there were some candlelight marches, there was some human chain. So there was some civil society organization.
But you're saying terrorists are not impressed by human chains and candlelight marches. They'll kill whom they want to kill.
Yeah, so I don't know what we do about it. I mean, they've been killing Kashmiri Muslims. So the other day, Shazia Ilmi, who is the BJP spokesperson, she made a very good statement in Srinagar, which kind of goes towards truth and reconciliation just a little bit, which takes us like one step closer to that. She said ki Kashmiri Pandits have suffered, that's a fact, but Kashmiri Muslims have also suffered. They've been at the receiving end of terrorism for the last 30 years as well. And we are completely powerless against it. I mean, barring the village defense committees that you have in Doda, Kishtwar and all that, like that region, Pir Panjal region, Kashmir mein to is tarah ka kuch hai nahi. The government is not going to arm Kashmiri Muslims in the Kashmir Valley. Like that would be like very unpredictable. That could have very unpredictable results. So we have actually no power to stop. So for example, if a militant comes to you, if a cross-border infiltrant comes to your house with a gun and asks for shelter, what power do you have? I think you're powerless. You're pretty powerless. So I think in this whole truth and reconciliation process towards this, one thing that needs to be understood is that, or what needs to be asked is how much power Kashmiris actually held, in those situations. So I also found myself asking that question when minority killings happened recently. And I was like, what can we do? And I was asked on a podcast, I think Smita Prakash asked me on the podcast, do you think Kashmiri Pandits can go back? And I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure. The situation is so volatile, like any day anything happens. And it's not just minority killings. Some police person, there were targeted killings of police personnel, like SHO को मारा गया, एक SI को मारा गया.
वो अपने बच्चे के साथ गया था नमाज पढ़ने, उसके पीठ पे गोली मार दी.
एक तो वो SHO है, वो सोरा के वो क्रिकेट खेल रहे थे वहाँ पे, and he was just like shot dead. So what do I say to Kashmiri Pandits? Like when I ask them to come back, I'm not so sure. Like on what grounds can you ask them to come back?
Justification क्या, मतलब आप क्यों आओगे वापस?
मतलब हम खुद नहीं सेफ है तो हम आपको क्या बोलेंगे?